Thomas's driver and fireman came to get him ready.
Driver, fireman, take me to Tidmouth Sheds.
Oh, I don't think so, Thomas. I don't think you're very welcome there.
Yes, but I'm sorry. Everything I said, I didn't mean it, and I realized that I was wrong. I have to apologize to all my friends.
And you only realize this now?
Yes, last night, I realized how wrong I was, and I have to apologize. Please, driver. Please.
I will contact the signalman and tell him that you're going to Tidmouth Sheds.
Oh, thank you, driver. Thank you very much. And I have not said this yet. Merry Christmas.
At Tidmouth Sheds, all the engines were so furious about Thomas. This is our last day of work, and no doubt we will run into him today at some point. I most certainly will. I have to collect his passengers at the junction. Then, the unwelcome Thomas came up to the turntable.
It's him. What is he doing here? Friends.
Friends?
Yes, Gordon. You are my friends, and I am sorry about what I said.
Well, it's a little too late, Thomas.
Percy, I have treated you like dirt all year. All because of a silly prank, and I realize that you were only joking. I'm sorry.
My name is now the Earl of Farquhar, thank you very much.
Come on, Percy. You don't have to be the Earl of Farquhar anymore. We are Thomas and Percy, the two best of friends on the island of Sodor. Can't we be like that again?
Where has this sudden change of heart came from?
It all came in a dream, Gordon, and that's when I realized how foolish I was. Is there anything I can do to prove that I'm sorry? I really want to make it up to all of you. I am not the face of Sodor, and I'm not its main attraction. Everyone has favourites. Gordon, you might be some people's favourite engine, and so might you, James. Please, forgive me.
Do you mean it, Thomas?
Yes, I do, Toby.
Well then, if you're really sorry, you have to prove it.
I said I would prove it. What must I do?
That is up to you to decide.
Gordon's right. I'm sure there's something you can do to prove that you're sorry.
That afternoon, Diesel was jumping trucks in the docks, and he overheard Nicholas Campbell talking. It is all set. The Dominion of Canada will board the ship tonight.
But Sir Topham had said that the contract was wrong.
Well, Sir Topham Hatt is wrong. I was talking to the owner of the Canadian Railway Museum, and he says that it states clearly in the contract that the Dominion of Canada must go to York. York only, nowhere else. So tonight, me and her will be on our way home.
Well, Mr. Campbell, if the boat's arriving in 2 hours' time, she will have to be brought to the docks immediately to get prepared.
That won't be a problem.
Well, that Diesel over there has just finished shunting his trucks. Maybe he could go to Knapford and bring her there for you.
Then Mr. Campbell went over to Diesel. Will you do that for me? Will you bring my Dominion here?
Of course I will,
said Diesel in his oily voice. The Fat Controller was unaware of what was happening, and so was all the engines. Except Diesel, who arrived at Knapford.
What are you doing? Why have you coupled onto me?
I'm taking you to the docks. We don't want you to miss your boat.
My boat? I'm not going on the boat.
Yes, you are. Apparently the contract was wrong. We were not supposed to leave York. So Mr. Campbell's taking you back to Canada. This is horse manure! Sir Topham Hatt was on the phone with the National Railway Museum. Don't shoot the messenger, Dwight D. Eisenhower. It is not up to you. I'm just a shopper with no human name. Don't you patronize me! Just doing my job.
Dwight D. Eisenhower! Help me! No! No!
Don't you worry, Dominion of Canada. On your way to the docks. I'm sure engines will see you. And when they do, they will tell Sir Topham Hatt immediately. Goodbye, Dominion of Canada. I hope you had a smooth trip. Hope there aren't too many high waves to rock your boat.
Snarled Diesel and then left. Hello, Dominion.
Mr. Campbell!
So you're coming back to Canada with me after all. Ever been on a boat on Christmas Day?
No!
Neither have I. But I've been told I'm gonna be served a huge turkey for my Christmas dinner. I hope it's not too lonely and boring for you, stuck by yourself. Och, don't sigh, Dominion. There's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
Thomas had finished his work and was leaving Annie and Clarabelle in the yard.
Goodbye, Annie. Goodbye, Clarabelle. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Thomas.
Merry Christmas, Thomas.
Then he saw Diesel. I hear you're very sorry, Thomas.
Yes, I am, Diesel.
Did you apologize to Dominion of Canada?
No, I will apologize to her and Dwight D. Eisenhower tonight at the Christmas party.
What do you mean, Thomas? Dominion of Canada will not be there.
Of course you will.
I've just brought her to the docks. She's going back to Canada with Mr. Campbell.
But that was all a mistake. The contract stated...
Yes, but the contract was wrong, according to Mr. Campbell.
But the Fat Controller was on the phone with the National Railway Museum, and they told him that the Dominion of Canada was allowed to go anywhere. And the Fat Controller is never wrong. Mr. Campbell's lying.
Do you think so?
I know so. I heard stories, very horrible stories of what he did to the Dominion of Canada when she was in the museum. He was very horrible to her and treated her very badly.
So he's trying to pull the wool over the Fat Controller's eyes.
It looks like it, and we must stop it. Driver, fireman, we need to find the Fat Controller.
I know where he is, Thomas. We will go there immediately.
Diesel, one more thing. Remember the prank with the brake van?
Yes, I do.
Did you tell Percy that I would not get in trouble because I'm the face of Sodor and its main attraction?
Yes, I did, Thomas. Because it is true.
Thanks for being honest, Diesel. I've been such an idiot.
And then Thomas left. Percy and the Fat Controller were at Tedmouth Station when Thomas rushed up beside him as quickly as possible.
I hear you've been trying to apologize, Thomas.
Yes, I have, sir, but that's not important now. The Dominion of Canada's in trouble.
Whatever do you mean?
Well, Diesel said that he's only after bringing her to the docks. She's going to board the ship with Nicholas Campbell.
What? Are you sure, Thomas?
Yes, Diesel told me. And he said that Nicholas Campbell said to him that the whole contract business was a mistake.
It most certainly was not. And I know for sure. Nicholas Campbell's trying to bring her back to Canada without my permission.
What are we gonna do? She's Dwight D. Eisenhower's sister.
I will phone the Ducks immediately.
So the Fat Controller phoned the Ducks, but there was no reply.
Great! The head office is not answering. Maybe they've went off early. Well, what are we gonna do?
Where's everyone else?
They're all at Tidmouth Yards for the Christmas party.
Then Thomas had an idea. What if me and the Earl of Farquhar go to the Ducks and bring her back?
That is a good idea, Thomas.
Are you willing to help, Earl of Farquhar?
Yes, I am. Anything for Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Percy gave a small smile. Right, we must go immediately. So Thomas and Percy raced down the tracks as quickly as possible. It started to snow, but that didn't bother them one bit. Eventually they reached the Ducks and they saw the Dominion of Canada. Thomas! Percy! What are you doing here? Mr. Campbell is lying. The contract doesn't state that you were only allowed to go to York. He's trying to deliberately bring you back to Canada early. But we are going to stop it. We are bringing you to a Christmas party. Do you mean it, Thomas? Thank you! No problem, Dominion. And I'm sorry for what I said to you. It was really horrible, and I'm so ashamed of myself. Don't worry about that, Thomas. Just worry about getting me out of the docks before the ship comes. Where is Mr. Campbell now? He's over there. We will get you away before he sees. So Thomas and Percy backed on to the Dominion of Canada, and the driver coupled them up. Right, are we ready? Here we go. Then Nicholas Campbell looked over. What are you doing? Bring her back here now! I mean it! But Thomas and Percy in the Dominion of Canada had set off. They raced down the tracks as quickly as possible. Don't worry, Dominion. Mr. Campbell's going to be in big trouble over this. He will not follow you again! The Dominion of Canada was very heavy, but Thomas and Percy raced on as fast as they could. At last they reached the sidings of Knobford. You saved my sister, and she wasn't yours to save. Thank you! No problem, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Have I now proved myself to you? Yes, you have, Percy. Percy? But I'm the Earl of Farquhar now. You have proved to me that you don't need to be the Earl of Farquhar. You two went out of your way to save my sister. And every engine on this railway works very hard, regardless of what they are called. I was wrong. You don't need to change your name. Percy is fine. Thomas and Percy were pleased. Dwight D. Eisenhower, yesterday I was horrible to you. I am sorry. Thomas, I was asking for it. No need to apologize. You said to me what I needed to hear. I was causing trouble. Unintentionally, but I have now realized that I was wrong. Right. Yous all need to go to Tidmouth Sheds immediately. There's a huge surprise there. What sort of surprise? It wouldn't be a surprise if I told you, Thomas. Then James arrived. Right, Dwight. Time to go to the sheds.
When they arrived, Thomas, Percy, Dwight the Eisenhower, and the Dominion of Canada gasped in shock. There, inside the sheds, was the Mallard, Sir Nigel Gresley, veteran, Union of South Africa, and Spencer. My brothers and sisters!
Oh, the rest of the A4s! You're all here for Christmas!
Yes. Now it's time for both of you to get into the sheds.
I shall shunt them in right away, said Diesel. At last, all the A4s were at Tibna sheds.
This is a huge honor, a once-in-a-lifetime chance. The 7 remaining A4s at Tibna sheds. What an occasion! Thomas, I heard what you did for Dominion of Canada. You have proved to me and everyone else that you are sorry. And we've all been talking. We forgive you.
Oh, thank you, Gordon. I will never boast again.
You certainly will not. Boasting's my job because I'm the pride of the line.
Percy, do you forgive me?
Yes, I do, Thomas.
We have both acted like fools this year, haven't we?
We sure have, Percy. But at least now, everything's back to normal.
We are best friends. Always have, and always will be.
Then the Mallard spoke to the Dominion of Canada. I heard what that manager did to you in the museum. You should have told us.
I know, but I was too ashamed.
There's nothing shameful about being bullied, Dominion.
Well, you not have to worry about it anymore. I was not able to get through to the docks, but I did get through to the Canadian Railway Museum. And when Nicholas Campbell returns, he will be fired!
Oh, you mean it, sir?
I sure do, Dominion. He's not gonna terrorize you anymore.
Oh, that is wonderful.
And there's something else. I tried. I could not buy you. But I did invest in you.
Invest in me?
Yes. That means that I part own you, which means I can make decisions. So if I say that you have to get cleaned up or get a new coat of paint, then that's exactly what will happen. When you go back to Canada, I will be in charge of what happens to you. You will never be mistreated again.
Sodor, I have something to say to all of you. Before I came here, I had no idea what this place was. And then a few of the engines at the National Railway Museum told me that steam engines were still in service. And much to my surprise, you indeed are. And then when I found out you had human names, I acted like a snob. And that is why
I apologize.
Oh, Dwight Eisenhower! Your voice is back to normal.
I have been an old fool, veteran. I have returned home. Something I never thought would ever happen. And I have to act like I appreciate it. And Spencer, I was wrong. You didn't have to be called Silverstein forever. If the Duke and Duchess of Oxford decided to change your name, that was up to them. And to be truthful, Spencer's actually a quite fitting name. Thank you, Dwight D. Eisenhower. This is one extraordinary railway. Every engine looks out for each other, and they help those that are in trouble. You are all like one big family. You're like one class. And I am honored to say that I visited the island of Serdar. I will treasure this place forever, and I know that this is impossible, but I hope I visit again someday. And you're welcome anytime, Dwight the Eisenhower, and you too, Dominion of Canada. That's settled then. Let the Christmas party begin! After such a bad year, this has turned into the best Christmas ever. It sure is, Thomas, and I'm glad we're spending it together. Happy Christmas, Percy. Happy Christmas, Toby. Happy Christmas, all my friends. Happy Christmas, Dominion of Canada. And happy Christmas, Dwight D. Eisenhower. In fact, happy Christmas, everyone! It's a wonderful life.